Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video you're going to learn how to make this beautiful corporate dress with a cape and a very beautiful sleeve. So this is the fabric that I'll be using. This is a crepe material, a crepe fabric, and I have 3 yards here, though I may not finish the 3 yards, but I have 3 yards here. And the person that I'm making this dress for is a size 8. Yes, big size 8. Now the first thing that we're going to be cutting is the skirt part. We are going to fold and then cut a straight cut. It is a 3/4. It has a 3/4 straight cut. Now I am done folding my fabric, and after folding the fabric I am going to take out the half length. Though if you want to sew this dress without a half length, you can actually cut everything together. Like you can just cut a basic straight gown without a half length, but for this particular dress I will be adding a half length to it. So right now I am done folding my fabric, and I'll go ahead and take out her half length. Her half length is 17 inches and half length is 16 inches, sorry, and I will take out the 16 inches. Then from the 16 inches I will mark her shoulder to hip, shoulder to knee, and shoulder to the full length. Though I was supposed to skip this part, but let me include it. The video is very long. I wanted to make it part 1 and part 2, but for the sake of people that are still learning, I will make everything. I'll have to include everything. Now I am going to mark from my shoulder to hip, from my shoulder to knee, and then from my shoulder to the full length. Her shoulder to hip is 26.5. Her shoulder to knee is 36. Her shoulder to the full length of the dress is 42 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark out those things, and after marking them I'll go ahead and connect the lines. I'll have to connect my lines so that you guys can follow me up. Normally I don't do all these things, especially when I'm doing freehand cutting, but I'm trying to be doing more of freehand cutting these days because lots of people are requesting for freehand cutting. Now I am done taking my lines, and I'll start taking her body measurements. Her hip is 38 inches divided by 4, and that will be 9.5 plus 1 inch seam allowance, that will be 10.5, and I marked. Then her waist measurement is 28. Then 28 divided by 4 is 7 plus 1 inch seam allowance, that will be 8. So I'll go ahead and mark her hip. I'll also mark her waist. Then at the knee I will just take out 2 inches from whatever I marked at the hip line. That is how I mark my knee line, and I'll mark it straight down to the full length. Then after cutting this, I will use this front to cut out my back. My back will have a zipper allowance. now I am done adding my zipper allowance. I added just 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. The next thing that I'm going to do is that I will cut out a basic bodice, and this basic bodice will have a basic round neckline, just a basic round neckline. So I'll go ahead and fold. Then I'll start taking from my shoulder to my bust point, that is 10. Shoulder to half length is 16 plus 2 inches for allowance. Her shoulder to bust point is 10, half length is 16. Then I added extra 2 inches for the allowance. Then from my shoulder I marked 8 inches for her chest line. I normally use 2 inches above bust point as my chest line. Her bust point is 10, so 2 inches above it is 8, and that's why I want to use that 8 as my chest line. So right now I'll rule these lines, and after ruling the lines I'll go ahead and take my dart measurement. We are using a normal dart for this dress. If you want to use a bust dart also, you can add a bust dart, but I'm just using normal dart for the dress. Now for the neckline, the front neckline will be 3 by 3. I am using 3 by 3. It is very okay for the dress. Then you go ahead and connect the neckline. The next thing that you are going to do is to mark your shoulder divided by 2, and then you mark your armhole. I have this explanation on my YouTube channel. I have explained almost everything on my YouTube channel, but I will be repeating for the sake of people that are just visiting my channel for the first time. Then her nipple to nipple is 8, but divided by 2 is 4, and that will be my dart line. I'll go ahead and connect this dart line to my bust point, and then I will take out half an inch on both sides of that dart line. Just half an inch on both lines of those sides of the dart line. And please, if you are cutting out, remember to notch your dart points, the place where you are going to take your dart from. Remember to notch it. It is really important. So right now I will start taking my body measurement. Her bust is 34 divided by 4. I'll go ahead and mark. Then her waist is 27 divided by 4, that is 7, plus 1 inch for that, 8, plus another 1 inch. Sorry, you add another 1 inch for that allowance. Please remember that. You can see now that I'm cutting, I added that 1 inch for the dart allowance because I forgot to mark it. Do not forget to add your dart allowance, add back your dart allowance. It is very important. Now using the back, I will cut out, using the front, I will cut out the back. The back neckline will be 3 by 1.5, just your normal basic neckline. The front is 3 by 3, the back is 1.5. The depth of the back is 1.5, so you go ahead and mark. Now after marking this, I'll go ahead and cut out. Now after cutting, notch your dart. It is really important. Then open your zipper allowance. I added 1.5 for my zipper allowance. Then the neck depth, I told you guys that it will be 1.5 for the neck depth. You don't need to do any dramatic neckline, just the basic neckline. I hope you understand. So just go ahead and mark 3 by 1.5 for your neck depth. Now we are done with the top. We are done with the skirt also. The next thing that we are going to cut out right now is the sleeve. We're going to cut out the sleeve. The sleeve looks complicated, but I'll try my best to make it simple. So the first step that I'm going to take right here is that I will draft a normal sleeve first of all. After drafting the normal sleeve, then I will have to trace out the other part of the sleeve. Now the full length of her sleeve is 25 inches. Then you go ahead and mark your normal sleeve. Her round sleeve is 12. The bicep area is 12, so 12 divided by 2 is 6, right? Plus 1 inch seam allowance, that is 7. I'll go ahead and mark. Your bicep should be 6 inches from the top of your sleeve. Then the elbow area is 10 inches divided by 2, that is 5 plus 1 inch. Then the normal, take your wrist measurement. Your normal wrist measurement is 8 divided by 2, that is 4. And I'll also go ahead and just mark out your normal basic sleeve. Then after marking this basic sleeve, from the full length of this sleeve, you will come up by 7 inches, 8 inches or 9 inches. But for me, I will be using 9 inches. So you can see I'm done drafting a basic sleeve 25 inches length. Then from the full length of that sleeve, I will come up by 9 inches. Come up by 9 inches and mark. So now you reduce that your sleeve length from this particular 9 inches that you marked right now. So now I'll go ahead and cut out that 9 inches. And after cutting it off, I will cut out this sleeve that I have here. I just cut out one. I'll go ahead and cut out another one. So that part of the sleeve where we cut out, we are going to use it to cut out the remaining part of the sleeve that looks like a flay with a slit. That is what we are going to use to cut out. But now this is the major part of our sleeve. So I'll go ahead and cut out this sleeve. And after cutting it out, the next thing that we do is that I will use the other part of the sleeve, that place that came up by 9 inches, right? That place that came up by 9 inches, right? I'll go ahead and place it on a plain fabric. This is the remaining part of the sleeve. I will fold another fabric. Then I'll go ahead and place it on top of that fabric. Then it will serve as a guide. And from there, I will mark an A-line shape. Just go ahead and mark an A-line shape and add extra 1 inch for seam allowance. Just mark out an A-line shape and add an extra 1 inch for seam allowance. You can see what I did there. After cutting out that part from the main sleeve, you will use it to cut out the A-line shape. So this place that has this A-line shape right now, I am going to cut out 4 pieces because you will turn it with a lining, and that lining is still the main fabric. You use the main fabric as the lining for that particular side of the sleeve. So what I'm going to do is that I'll go ahead and cut out 4 pieces, one for the main fabric, one for the main lining. Then after cutting it out, I'll add hard gum to 2. I don't like adding gum to my main fabric so that it will not fold. I'll add hard gum to the lining. So right now we are done, and we are going to cut out our cape. This fabric that I folded now is for our cape, and I've marked out 4 inches on fold, 4 inches on fold for the cape around the neckline. And you cut out, let's say, 30 inches length for now, 3 inches, and the full length will be 30 inches. So after marking this 4 inches, you just go ahead and cut it out. And after cutting this 30 inches piece out, you add hard gum to it. You can even add collar stay so that it will be very strong. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now after marking the 4 inches, I'll go ahead and cut out this cape. This is what we are going to use for our cape. Now we are done with the cape. I'll go ahead and cut out my facing for the front and for the back. We all know how to cut out the facing, I guess. I'll go ahead and cut out my facing. You can use bias to turn this, but facing is way better. Just use your facing for a very fine finishing. Now I am done. I'll go ahead and shape my skirt. First of all, I close the zipper allowance for the back. That is what I normally do. You close the zipper allowance for the back, and then you place the front on it. After placing the front on it, you go ahead and take your body measurements. Now I am done, and I'll go ahead and turn the top pieces. I'll add their facing and I will add the darts. Now this is for the sleeve. You can see that I added hard gum to the two lining for that sleeve, the A-line part of the sleeve. Then I'll go ahead and turn all of them. I'll turn 3 sides. I'll just go ahead and turn 3 sides of this sleeve. Now our back is ready. I am done turning the back with the facing. I am done adding a dart. I'll go ahead and close my zipper allowance. I like closing my zipper allowance before taking my body measurements. I'll go ahead and close my zipper allowance. After closing the zipper allowance for the back, I'll place the top on it and I'll take my body measurements. Right now, I'm done closing the zipper allowance for the back. I'll go ahead and place the front on it and I'll take my body measurement. After taking the body measurement, you will shape the side and the shoulder. Feel free to shape your side and your shoulder. Then after that, we are going to fix our cape. Now these are the sleeve pieces. And I'm done turning the A-line part of this sleeve, but before I join it to the top of this, to the other part of the sleeve, I'll go ahead and shape my main sleeve. I will shape it with my normal measurement. The upper part is 12, the bicep is 12, the elbow is 10, 12, 10. Then you go ahead and connect. You repeat the same thing on the other sleeve, and then you go ahead and shape. After shaping, that is when you will add the A-line parts of that dress. You shape of the sleeve. You shape the sleeve first. Now I am done shaping the sleeve. You just go ahead and tack this sleeve just a little bit, and the joining should be facing the joining area of that sleeve. You can see I am done tacking that A-line part a bit. I'm done tacking it a bit. I'll just go ahead and join the two of them together. Just use half an inch to join the two of them together, and make sure that the joining part of the A-line shape is facing the joining of that sleeve. All the joining should be on one line. Now you can see what I have. You can see the slits of that sleeve is on the joining part of the sleeve. You can see the slit area of the A-line part is facing the joining of the sleeve. Now you can see my sleeve. This is what I have, and I really like them. The next thing that I'm going to do now is to mark where I am going to fix my cape. after turning your neckline, joining your shoulder, shaping the sides, you will just go ahead and trim your half length. After trimming your half length, you trace out the shape you want your collar or your cape to have. And if you check very well, the cape of this dress is facing the left hand side, the cape is facing the left hand side. And before you mark out that cape, please do not forget to trim your armhole. It is really important. Trim your armhole first of all, then you can mark out your cape or your collar. Now, using my chalk, this is my collar, and I've added hard gum to it. I've added hard gum to the collar already, but let me keep it aside. I'll go ahead and take the measurements. I'll go ahead and check the measurement that it will take on the dress. Now, this collar or this cape will not enter the zipper allowance. It will stop before the zipper allowance. Then you can use a button or a bra hook to hold them down. So you can see the shape the collar will take or the cape will take. And I feel this cape is too wide. I will still go ahead and reduce it. Now I will start tracing out the shape that my collar will have or my cape will have. I will start tracing it out. You can see how I am marking it. You give it that round neck shape, and if you get to the shoulder, you will continue from the back part. Then you will stop at the zipper allowance. Then for the other parts of the cape, you can see you stop at the zipper allowance. Then from that zipper allowance, you will measure that line you marked round. You will just measure the line round. And I have 17 inches, but I'll make it 18 inches so that I will have excess. Now I'll go ahead and cut out 17 inches on this. I'll cut out 18 inches on this cape. I even made it 20 so that I can have enough fabric for the cape. So now this one is 18 inches. It is for the right side of the collar, and I want to reduce the width. I want to reduce the wideness to 4 inches. But I later went ahead to reduce this collar. The collar was actually much, so I had to go ahead and reduce it. The cape, sorry. Now we are done marking the right side of the cape. For the left side of the cape, what I'm going to do is that from that zipper allowance also, you can see I closed my zipper allowance. From that zipper line also, you will mark a chalk to enter the other armhole. Now after marking this chalk, I'll go ahead and take the measurements. I have 7 inches, but I'll make it 8 so that I will have enough fabric. I hope you understand. So after marking that, I'll go ahead and cut out, and after cutting it out, I'll make sure that the size and the size of the right cape are equal. So now I'll go ahead and close one side of this collar, one side each. The size that will stop at the zipper area, because 2 of them will stop there. Then you add a bra hook or you add a button and loop for it. So I'll go ahead and close one side of this cape and close one side of the other cape. I'll go ahead and use half an inch to close the 2 of them. Now I am done closing the 2 of them, and you go ahead and overlock before sewing. So these are the size that will be at the back. You go ahead and overlock. This is the side that will be at the back, and it is looking really neat right now. So I will overlock. Then after overlocking, I want to take you guys to my sewing machine so that you can see what I am doing right here. So first of all, I'll go ahead and open my zipper allowance. And remember, I told you guys that those cape will not enter my zipper allowance. They will stop exactly on that line where I will fix my zipper. I hope you understand. So I've opened my zipper allowance. I will get the longer cape and I will fix it on this line that I marked. I'll get the longer. Okay, this is the short one. So you can see I started exactly on the zipper line and I attached. So now I am done attaching that one, and if I turn it up, it will give me that shape. So I will turn it up and I will force it to enter the armhole. That one is for the left side, the back left. So later I reduced this cape. This is actually long for me, so we are done with the shorter part of the cape. I'll go ahead and fix the other side of the cape right now, and you can see that I overlocked before fixing. But first of all, start from the zipper allowance. If you are sewing, start from that zipper allowance area. So I'll fix it to stop before the zip, and I'll go ahead and join. So now you sew it so that it will enter your armhole. It must enter your armhole. So if it enters your armhole, you will turn it up. You will turn it up, and you will force it to, you sew on it around the armhole area. It is really important. You go ahead and sew on it around the armhole area. After sewing on it, you can now trim off the remaining parts of the cape. So now guys, this is what we have. Though later I reduced this cape. This is actually long. I reduced it to 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches is just the best height for this cape or the collar. So now after doing this, I'll go ahead and fix my half length. You can see the back. I'll go ahead and fix my half length, and after fixing my half length, I'll go ahead and fix my sleeve and my zipper. So right now I am done fixing my zipper, and I'm done fixing my collar. You can see my collar is really looking good. I'll go ahead and fix my sleeve and my zipper. Then after fixing the zipper, I will show you guys what it looks like at the back. So now I am done fixing the zipper, and this is the back. So here you are going to add a bra hook or a button and loop that will hold it. Then you have your zipper. This is really beautiful at the back. Then if I turn the front, this is what it looks like. So guys, registration for our August classes, online classes, are ongoing. If you want to register for any class, just drop a comment in the comment section, and I will direct you on how to register. Thank you all so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye.